Hello. Tonight, we are going to travel far back to a time colder than any you have known, to a life harder than anything you imagine. The Ice Age was not made for comfort. It was not made for people like you. It begins in the early light, not sunlight. Just a pale gray glow that pushes through the cracks of a stone shelter built low into the ground. There is no door, only a hide stretched across a wooden frame, stiff with frost and sleep. The air inside is not warm. It is just less cold than what waits outside. You wake on fur, a mix of elk and hair. It is not soft. It is not clean. It smells like smoke, like sweat, like something old and hunted. You do not have a blanket. You are the blanket. You curl your knees to your chest and press your hands beneath your arms. Your breath clouds in front of you. The others are still sleeping. Their backs are turned. Their shoulders rise and fall. No one talks. Not now. Talking wastes heat. You sit up slowly. Your joints ache. Your skin is dry. Your nose is already bleeding. There is no fire, only gray embers. You add dried moss, a small twig. You blow slowly. Your lips crack. The smoke curls upward, but no flame comes. You try again. Still nothing. You try again. It finally catches. A flicker. Then more. You do not smile. You do not celebrate. Fire is survival. It is not a gift. It is work. You feed it slowly, just enough to keep it, not enough to waste. Outside, the wind groans against the stones. It is not a howl, just a sound that never ends. You dress in skins, layers tied with sinew. The leather is stiff. You bend it with your fingers. There is no warmth in it, just less cold. Your feet are already numb. You pull on boots made from mammoth hide. They are heavy. They never dry. You stand. You crouch. You stretch your arms. Every movement is careful. Every movement remembers yesterday's pain. One of the others shifts. You nod to them. They do not nod back. Nods are rare here. The air outside takes your breath. Literally. You cough once. Your throat hurts. You spit blood. You wipe it away with the back of your hand. The world is white. Not clean. Just white. A field of snow broken only by trees, without leaves and bones without names. Your tracks from yesterday are still there. So are the wolf prints, bigger than yours, closer than they should be. You do not go that way today. The sky is a flat gray, not clouds, just cold. The sun is a rumor. It gives no warmth. It casts no shadow. You walk toward the ridge. You carry a spear, bone tip, wood shaft, wrapped with gut. It is sharp enough. You hold it tight. The leather in your glove splits. You do not notice. Your fingers do. You move through snow. It is not deep, but it drags at your legs. Every step is slower than it should be. You breathe through your nose. It hurts. Through your mouth. It freezes. You stop often, not to rest, to listen. The world is never quiet. It only changes sound. A branch cracks. You turn. Nothing. A bird calls, then stops. You keep walking. At the ridge, you crouch. You scan the horizon. No herds, no movement, no smoke, just white. You wait. Waiting is part of life now. You wait more than you move. The wind shifts. It brings a scent. Not food, not friend. Just something not right. You stay low. You press your hand to the ground. It is frozen, but something moved here. Not long ago. You follow the trail. Small prints, sharp toes, fast steps. It might be prey, it might not. You go anyway. You have no choice. Hunger is louder than fear. The trail twists around stone and through brush. You move slow. You step wide. You avoid ice. You smell rot. That is a good sign. Rot means meat. Even if it is not fresh, you find it behind a boulder. A reindeer. Dead. Half-eaten. The ribs are open. The meat is frozen. The blood is black. You kneel. You cut quickly. You wrap what you can and hide. You do not cry. You do not gag. You have done this before. The wolves have not gone far. You feel it. You stand. You do not run. Running invites attention. The way back is harder. The wind has picked up. The snow is falling now. Not heavy, just steady, like breath. You lower your head. You keep the meat close to your chest. You think of the fire, of the smell of cooked fat, of warmth on your face. These are not dreams. These are survival tools. You tell yourself you will eat soon. You do not believe it, but you say it anyway. At the shelter, the others are awake. They see the meat. They do not speak. They make space. The fire is still burning. You add more moss. You slice the meat thin. You place it over the flame. It smokes. It spits. It smells like life. You chew slowly. It is tough. It is cold in the middle. It is enough. You give some to the old one. She chews with her gums. She nods once. That is thanks. You give some to the child. He does not smile. No one smiles. Not in the Ice Age. Smiling means you forgot what the world is. You do not forget. You sleep with your spear beside you. You sleep in your clothes. You sleep with your back to the stone. You sleep light, because tomorrow is colder. The cold does not sleep. It waits. It watches. It seeps into the gaps of stone and hide, into the cracks of bone and memory. You wake slowly. The light is weaker than yesterday. The air does not move. That is not comfort. That is danger. Still, air means snow is falling, or about to. You sit up. Your back aches. Your legs cramp. You stretch without sound. The fire is low. Not dead. Not yet. The old one is already awake. She stares at the wall, not seeing, just remembering. The child is curled beside the coals. His breath is shallow. His skin is pale. You reach for more moss. You feed the fire. It responds with a slow crack. That is enough. You chew dried meat. Hard. Cold. From a strip saved yesterday. It is like bark. You chew anyway. You step outside. The sky is not sky. Just white. Falling. Light flakes. Constant. The kind that build without warning. The kind that bury things while you sleep. The kind that take your path and turn it into nothing. You know this snow. It is not your friend. You check the meat cache. It is buried. You dig with your hands. The snow is wet. Your fingers go numb. You do not stop. You recover 3 strips. Not enough. You cover the hole again. You pack the snow flat. Hides keep out wind, not scent. You hope the wolves do not come. You check your traps. There are 4. The first is empty. The second is broken. The third holds a hare, frozen stiff. Its eyes are open. You take it. You do not thank it. That is not part of this world. The 4th trap is missing. No wire, no sign. Just prints. Big, heavy, not human, not now. You crouch. You study the snow. The prints are fresh. They move toward the ridge. You do not follow. You are not that hungry. Not yet. You return to the shelter. The others are asleep again. The fire is lower. The old one has not moved. You clean the hair outside. The blood is frozen. The skin tears in your hand. You scrape with stone. You save the pelt. You slice the meat thin. You do not wash your hands. There is no clean water. Only snow. Only ice. You place the meat over the fire. The smoke curls up. You do not watch it. You watch the door. The child stirs. He coughs. A deep sound from inside his chest. You give him meat. He chews slowly. He swallows hard. His eyes do not focus. You put your hand on his forehead. Cold, then warm, then cold again. That is bad. You say nothing. The old one still stares. Her lips move. She is not speaking to you. The wind begins again near midday. You hear it before you feel it. A whistle through trees, then through cracks in stone, then against your face. It is not loud, but it does not stop. You close the hide tighter. You press stones against the bottom. You do not speak. No one does. You sit by the fire. You listen. The sound changes near dusk, from whistle to moan. The sky darkens, not from night, from cloud, thick, heavy, angry. You feed the fire. You place the hides across the opening. You stack the meat deeper in the corner. You tie your boots. You hold the spear. You wait. Night is not quiet. The wind screams now. The stone creaks. The hide flaps. The child whimpers. The old one lies still. The fire jumps, then shrinks, then jumps again. You sit awake. You count your breaths. You count the cracks in the wall. You hear something outside. A step, then nothing, then another. You do not move. You do not breathe. You grip the spear tighter. The hide lifts slightly. A gust pulls it inward. The fire leans, then stills. You wait. Nothing enters. The child is quiet. The old one snores once, then stops. You hold still. You do not sleep. Morning is not morning, just less dark. The wind still cries. The snow still falls. The air inside is colder than before. Your fingers are stiff. Your lips are split. Your breath is short. You rise. You stretch. You check the meat. Still there, still frozen. You chew slowly. It tastes like smoke and old fat. You chew anyway. You dig out the door. The snow is waist deep. The air bites. Your face stings. You pull your hood tighter. You do not go far. You check the traps again. 2 are gone. 1 is full of snow. One holds nothing. You reset what you can. You do not follow the prince. You are not curious. Curiosity kills faster than hunger. The cold hurts more today. It creeps under your skin, into your joints. It pulls at your knees, your elbows, your ribs. You think of warmth, of a cave deep underground, of hot springs, of mammoths, not dead, alive, huge and slow, covered in heat. You blink. You stop dreaming. You return to the shelter. You enter slowly. You listen first. Nothing stirs. The fire is low. You feed it. It takes effort. The wood is damp. The moss is gone. You burn scraps of fur, of leather. The smoke is thick. The child coughs again. You give him snow to chew. He spits it out. You say nothing. The old one does not move. Her chest is still. Her skin is pale. Her eyes are closed. You place your hand on her arm, cold, stiff. You nod once. That is all. You wrap her in a hide. You do not cry. You do not mourn. There is no time. The snow outside is too deep for digging. You place her near the stones. The fire crackles once, then falls quiet. You eat what remains of the hair. The meat is gray. The fat is gone. The child eats nothing. He sleeps. You sit. You watch the fire. You listen to the wind. You think of tomorrow. You hope it does not come colder, because this is only the second day. The fire dies before you wake. It always does. There is not enough fuel, not enough time, not enough warmth to keep it through the dark. You sit up. The light is faint. The cold is worse. It has crept into your chest, into your back, into the space behind your eyes. The child is curled into himself. He does not wake. His breath is thin. You add bark to the coals. It smokes. It hisses. It dies. You try again. More bark. A piece of hide. A strip of dried gut. It catches. Slowly. Reluctantly. You chew a strip of meat. It is frozen. It cracks when you bite it. It tears your lip. You do not stop chewing. Your jaw aches. You swallow without tasting. You sip melted snow. It is gray. It smells of smoke and earth. It is enough. You wake the child. He does not open his eyes. He shakes when he breathes. You place a hot stone against his feet. He does not respond. You do not speak. He would not hear you if you did. You step outside. The snow is up to your hips. The sky is white. The trees are still. The wind is gone. That is not good. It means more snow is coming. You move carefully, slowly. Your legs are heavy. Your boots are wet. You walk to the nearest trap. It is gone. Just a hole. The others are buried. You do not dig. It is too cold. You turn back. You see the shelter, small, crooked, half covered in drift. It looks like part of the ground now. You re-enter. The fire is still alive, small, weak, but alive. You feed it a splintered bone. It pops. The smoke rises slow. The child has not moved. His skin is gray. His fingers are stiff. You place him closer to the flame. You rub his hands. You say his name. You say it again. He opens one eye. He closes it. That is enough. He is not gone. Not yet. You eat again. The last strip. It is old. It of tastes of mold. You chew slowly. You do not gag. You chew because you must. There is nothing left. You feel the hollow in your stomach. Not hunger. Not yet. Just space. Empty space. Cold space. You drink the rest of the snow water. You fill the pot again. You place it near the fire. It will take hours to melt. You know this. You wait anyway. The old one lies wrapped in hide. Her face is covered. Her hands are tucked under her chest. She does not smell. Yet. The air is too cold. You wonder when to bury her. You wonder if you will. The snow will not melt soon. The ground is too hard. You look at the ceiling. A crack has widened. Snow drips through. You place a pot beneath it. It is slow, but it is water. You sharpen your spear. Not because it is dull, because there is nothing else to do. The blade scrapes against stone. The sound is dry. It echoes. The child stirs. He watches you, then turns away. You stop sharpening. You place the spear by the door. You sit. You watch the fire. You watch the drip. You listen to the silence. It is deep. It is old. It is thick. You dream without sleeping. You see mammoths walking through snow. Slow. Heavy. Steaming. Their eyes do not blink. Their breath clouds the sky. You are beneath them. Small. Cold. You reach out. You touch their fur. It is soft. Warm. You wake. The fire has died again. The child is breathing. You are cold. Nothing else has changed. You decide to hunt, not because you are ready, but because you must. You wrap your boots in extra hide. You tie a stone knife to your belt. You take the spear. You nod at the child. He does not nod back. You leave. The snow is deeper than it was. The trees are closer together now, as if they moved in the night. You push through branches. They scratch your arms, your face. You smell sap. You smell bark. You smell nothing else. No blood. No fur. No heat. You move slow. You follow no path. You follow a shape. In your mind. In the snow. You pretend you see tracks. Hours pass. The sun does not rise. It stays behind the clouds. Behind the sky. Behind everything. You find a hill. You climb it. You see nothing from the top. You see only white. But you feel wind now. It touches your cheek. It carries a smell. Faint. Animal. You turn your head. You follow it. You crouch low. You move slow. You listen. You hear nothing. Then a crunch. Then silence. You stop. You lower yourself. You crawl. You reach a fallen tree. Beyond it, a shape. Small. 4 legs. Fur. Digging. A fox. Thin. Weak. Alone. You grip your spear. You wait. You breathe once. Then again. You throw. The spear lands too far. The fox runs. You run too. You do not shout. You do not think. You run through snow. Through trees. Through pain. You lose the fox. You fall. You stand. You fall again. Your leg twists. You hear a pop. Your breath leaves you. You lie still. The snow falls on your face. You do not move. Not yet. Eventually, you rise. You limp. You bleed. Not much. Just enough. You hold the spear like a crutch. You turn back. The shelter is far. The sky is darker. The wind is sharper. You do not stop. You walk. You fall. You walk again. Your knees shake. Your fingers sting. You bite your lip. You keep walking. By the time you reach the shelter, night has fallen. The snow is heavier. The child is awake. He is sitting by the stones. The fire is not lit. He looks at you. He sees the blood. He sees the empty hands. He says nothing. You nod. You sit. You do not take off your boots. You close your eyes. You breathe. Tomorrow you will try again, because this is only the third day. You wake with your face in the dirt. Not mud, not soil, just frozen dirt. Dry, hard, cold. Your cheek is numb. Your breath is shallow. Your eyes are slow to open. The light has not changed. It never does. Just dim. Just gray. Just more of the same. You sit up. Your joints crack. Your head aches. The fire is gone. The coals are cold. The shelter is quiet. The child sits near the old one, still wrapped in hide, still unmoving. The child hums something, a tune without notes, a rhythm without shape. You listen. You do not interrupt. You do not know the song. You press your palm to the floor. It is damp. The snow has melted from the ceiling. The water drips onto your wrist. You pull your hand away. Your leg hurts. You move it slow. The ankle is swollen, purple under the skin. You cut the hide from around it. You wrap it tighter. You tie it with gut. You breathe in short bursts. You grunt once. You do not scream. Pain is not a message. It is a condition. It is part of the cold. You look at the meat pile. There is none. The pot is empty. The bowl is dry. The snow bucket has not melted. You check the hides for frost. You squeeze water from one. It drips into your hand. You suck it from your fingers. It tastes like smoke and salt. You do not care. You do not stop. You dress again. The same way. Same layers. Same stiffness. Same smell. You do not feel your toes. You press on them. They do not press back. You do not speak. You do not think about what that means. You take your knife. You do not take the spear. You cannot carry it. You open the hide door. You squint into the snow. The wind is still slow. The air is thick. The snow is deep. You walk anyway. You move slow. You lean on a stick. Not strong. Not sharp. Just wood. You drag one leg. The pain burns, then fades. That is worse. You do not go far. You do not go to hunt. You go to dig. You reach the trap site. The wire is gone. The bait is gone. The snow is smooth. You begin to dig. You chip at the crust with your knife. You tear the snow with your hands. You uncover the frame. Still whole. Still usable. You reset it. Slowly. You place a bone in the center. You press it down. You leave it. You return the way you came. Your leg drags. Your arms shake. You stop once. To breathe. To cough. You spit blood. Not much. Just a thread. It freezes before it hits the snow. You watch it. You move on. Back inside. The child has moved closer to the fire ring. He watches the stones. He watches you. He says nothing. You nod. You do not sit. You melt snow. You chew bark. You chew hide. You chew nothing. You rest. You dream for a moment. Not sleep, just stillness. You see warmth. Not a fire. A place. A cave with steam. You see figures in it. Large. Hairy. They do not speak. They do not move. They just sit. You sit with them. You feel safe. You wake. The light has not changed. The air is colder. The child is still awake. He stares at you. You smile. Your lip cracks. He does not smile back. That is fine. He is learning. You give him snow to eat. He sucks on it. His lips are blue. You hold him for a while. His skin is rough. His hair is damp. He does not resist. You talk to him, softly, words that have no meaning, just sound, just rhythm, just comfort. He closes his eyes. He does not sleep. You place him down. You cover him. You add bark to the fire pit. It smokes. That is enough. You listen to the outside. It has changed. A sound now. Not wind. Not snow. A scrape. A crunch. Then nothing. Then again. You hold your knife. You breathe slow. You crouch by the wall. You do not move. You do not look. The sound returns. It is not close. But not far. You do not check. You wait. The sound fades. You sit. You exhale. You feel the ache in your hands, in your shoulders, in your teeth. You chew more bark. You spit it out. You rinse your mouth with melted snow. You swallow. Your throat burns. You sleep for a while. The cold does not let you rest, but you sleep. Your leg throbs. Your head is full of fog, the kind that does not come from outside, the kind that grows inside. You dream of walking, of running, of chasing something. You do not know what. You never catch it. You wake in darkness, true darkness, the kind where the cold is louder than sound. The fire is dead. The child is not beside you. You sit up. You call his name. Once. Then again. You hear nothing. You panic. You grab the knife. You crawl to the door. You lift the hide. He is outside, kneeling in the snow, barefoot, bareheaded, still. He is staring at something. You follow his gaze. There is nothing there. Just snow. Just trees. Just cold. You whisper to him. He does not turn. You crawl to him. You grab his arm. It is warm. Too warm. He blinks. Slowly. He speaks one word. You do not understand it. You carry him inside. He does not fight. He closes his eyes. He curls into the hide. He sleeps. You stay awake the rest of the night, because this is only the 4th day. Morning arrives without sun, only a pale shift in the darkness, a suggestion that time has passed. You open your eyes. Your neck is stiff. Your fingers ache. The cold has moved deeper into your bones. You are slower today, heavier. The child is still asleep. His face is pale. His lips are cracked. He murmurs something in his sleep. A sound with no meaning. You listen anyway. The fire is dead. Only black ash and the faint smell of smoke. You press your hand into the stones. They are cold. No heat remains. You look around. There is no food, no bark, no moss, no dry wood. The air inside is the same as outside, just quieter, just more still. You rise slowly. Your ankle has swollen more. You press on it gently. You grit your teeth. You wrap it tighter. You do not cry out. You do not wince. You save that energy for walking. You gather the knife, the stick, the pouch made of hide. You nod once toward the child. You leave. The snow is not falling. The sky is flat, gray, silent. The world is white in every direction. No path, no tracks, no sound. You move toward the traps. You move slowly, dragging one foot, leaning hard on the stick. Each step is a decision. Each breath is a plan. The first trap is gone, buried or taken. You do not look long. You move to the second. It is untouched. The bait is frozen. A small tuft of fur still clings to it. You brush it off. You check the snare. Still tight. Still sharp. You nod. You move on. The third trap holds something. You stop. You kneel. You brush snow away. A bird, small, brown, frozen solid. Its wings are stiff. Its eyes are wide. You whisper thank you. You do not know why. It feels right. You wrap it in cloth. You tuck it into your pouch. You stand. The last trap is broken, snapped in two. The wire is missing. The wood is splintered. You find blood. Just a smear. Just a trace. Not enough to follow. Not enough to explain. You stand still. You listen. There is nothing. You turn back. The walk home is longer. The wind picks up. It whistles through the trees. You feel it on your face. Your skin burns. Your eyes water. You do not stop. You do not speak. You do not think. You reach the shelter. You push open the hide. You step inside. The child is sitting, awake, staring at the wall. He does not look at you. You kneel by the fire ring. You place bark inside. You place the bird above it. You add hair from your pouch. You strike stone. Once, twice, again. A spark, then flame. It takes. It lives. You feed it slowly. The bird smells like food. Not much, but enough. You pluck the feathers. You toss them aside. You cut the meat away. Thin strips. Small bites. You cook it over the fire. You give the first piece to the child. He chews slowly. His eyes stay on the wall. You eat the rest. You chew the bones. You swallow the marrow. You do not feel full, but you feel less empty. That is the goal. You drink melted snow. It tastes like ash. You do not care. You pour more into the pot. It will take time. The child speaks. One word. A name. Not yours. Not his. You nod. You do not ask. The fire crackles. The smoke climbs the wall. The child curls up again, his hands tucked beneath his knees. You cover him with a hide. You press your hand to his forehead. Warm, not too warm. That is good. You sit. You close your eyes. You sleep briefly, just enough. You dream of mountains, far away, covered in snow, covered in wind, covered in silence. You climb them, barefoot, bleeding. You reach the top. You find nothing. You smile. You wake. The fire is low. The pot is half full. You sip from it. You feel it slide down your throat. The child is still asleep. You rise. You gather the spear, the one you left near the door. You test its point. Still sharp. You wrap yourself again. You leave. This time, you walk toward the stream. It is frozen, always frozen. But sometimes the edges crack. Sometimes there are fish near the breaks. You limp across the ridge. You follow the line of trees. You mark your steps. You hum the child's tune. Just once. Just enough to hear it. You find the stream. You kneel beside it. You press your knife into the ice. It does not break. You chip away. Slowly, gently. A hole opens. Small. Just big enough to see water. Dark. Still. You stare into it. You see your face. Pale. Hollow. Older than before. You sit. You wait. You hold the spear ready. You watch the hole. You do not blink. Time passes. The wind shifts. A shape moves beneath the water. Then another. You wait. You wait more. The cold climbs into your spine, into your jaw, into your fingertips. Then a flash. A tail. You thrust. You miss. You breathe. You wait again. Another shape. You thrust again. Contact. You pull. A fish. Small. Still moving. You slam it against the ice. Once. Twice. Still. You place it in your pouch. You wait again. You do not stop. You catch 2 more. Then the hole freezes over. You cannot break it again. Your hands shake. Your breath is shallow. You stand. You limp back. The fish thump against your leg with each step. That is a comfort. At the shelter, the child is awake. He sees the fish. He nods. Once. You cook them whole. You eat one. He eats one. The third is saved. Wrapped in hide. Set aside. For tomorrow, if tomorrow comes. The fire burns steady. The room is quiet. The child hums again. Not the same tune. Something softer. Slower. You close your eyes. Because this is only the 5th day. The fire is low again. But not dead. That is a victory. You sit beside it. You rub your hands together. Your fingers are cracked. Your nails are dark. The heat does not reach your skin. It just reminds you that cold exists. You glance at the child. He is asleep. His face is turned toward the wall. He no longer shivers in his sleep. You do not know if that is good. You stretch your leg. The ankle is swollen. The hide wrap is damp. You unwrap it. You wince. The skin is discolored. You press gently. The pain is sharp. You breathe through your teeth. You tie the hide again. Tighter. Slower. The pain remains. You ignore it. You eat half the last fish. Cold. Chewy. The skin sticks to your teeth. The bones scratch your throat. You swallow anyway. You chew the tail. You do not throw anything away. You drink from the pot. The water is warm. Barely, but warm. You savor it. You close your eyes for just a moment. Outside, the wind has returned, not sharp, not fast, just present. It scratches against the hide door. It finds its way through cracks in the stones. The room whistles softly. You listen. You always listen. You rise. Slowly. Your knees resist. You dress again. The same layers. The same stiffness. The same smells. You do not notice anymore. You check your knife. You test the blade. It is dull. You sharpen it with a stone. You count each scrape. 27. That is enough. You look at the child. He is watching you now. His eyes are glassy, but focused. He does not speak. You nod. You open the door. The wind greets you like an old friend. Cold, familiar, unforgiving. You step outside. The snow crunches beneath your foot. Only one. The other drags. You walk toward the stream again. Not to fish. Not today. Today is for gathering. For wood. For bark. For something to burn. You follow the tree line. You stop often. You rest often. You breathe deeply. Each breath feels sharp, like the air has teeth. You find a branch, dry, split. You break it against a rock. It shatters. You collect the pieces. You find moss, frozen, still useful. You pull it from stone. It tears in your hand. You wrap it in cloth. You keep moving, farther out. You find tracks. Not yours. Not the child's. Not the fox. Bigger, wider, deep. You crouch. You press your hand into one. It is almost your size. You do not smile. You do not panic. You turn around, slowly, calmly. You do not look behind you again. You return home with wood, with moss, with a branch that might serve as another spear. The child opens the door for you. That is new. That is something. You nod. He takes the wood. He stacks it neatly. He adds moss to the fire. It flares briefly, then steadies. You sit. You take off your boots. Your foot is numb, but the ankle is worse. You place it near the fire. You close your eyes. You feel the warmth try to find you. It doesn't. The child eats the rest of the fish. You do not stop him. He needs it more. You drink more water. You chew a strip of bark. It does nothing, but the act matters. You keep your mouth moving. You keep your jaw strong. You spend the afternoon repairing the broken spear. You use gut to tie the bone tip to the wood. You test it. It bends slightly. You nod. It will hold. For now. You sharpen the point. You check your pouch. Empty. You place the new spear beside you, close. The child draws shapes in the ash. Circles. Lines. Marks you do not recognize. He does not explain. You do not ask. He wipes them away before he sleeps. You watch him do it. Every time. The fire pops once. The wind moans once. Then stillness. You sleep again. Only briefly. Your dreams are strange. A bird with no wings. A tree that walks. A cave that breathes. You do not know what it means. You wake cold. The fire has burned low again. You add wood. You blow on the embers. It returns. You check the traps the next morning. Only one is touched. The snare is broken. The bait is gone. No blood. No fur. Just empty. You reset it. You do not linger. You do not look around. You return quickly. The child is waiting. He has cleaned the pot. He has stacked the wood. He has added moss to the corner. You do not ask where he found it. You say thank you. He does not respond. He knows. You eat nothing. There is nothing. You drink melted snow. The cold sits in your chest. You do not cough. You do not speak. You sit by the fire. The child hums again. A different song. a different rhythm. It comforts you. That night, you hear something outside. A breath, not wind. A step, not snow. You hold your spear. You listen. The child wakes. He stares at the door. You wait together. Nothing happens. You do not sleep, because this is only the 6th day. The morning is slow to come. The light is pale, weak. You watch the fire. It has survived. That is rare. That is important. You feed it moss, a few sticks. The flame leans toward you, then away. You nod. That is enough. The child is awake. He does not speak. He looks tired, but not worse. You unwrap your ankle. The swelling has stopped growing. That is good. The skin is still red, still tight. You press around it. It hurts less than yesterday. That is something. You tie it again. You use cleaner hide. You sit back. You exhale. The child eats nothing. He does not ask. There is no food. You melt snow. You give him a cup. He drinks half. He spills a little. He wipes his mouth. You pat his shoulder. He closes his eyes. Just for a moment. Just long enough to feel it. You gather what you can. A stick. A knife. A broken loop of cord. You stand slowly. You look outside. The wind has stopped. The sky is still flat. Still gray. The snow is frozen over. A thin shell. Hard to walk on. You nod. You move forward. The traps are your first stop. You check them slowly, carefully. One is untouched. One is missing. Again. The third holds something. A bird. The same as before. Thin. Cold. You whisper your thanks. You place it in your pouch. You check the last trap. It is frozen shut. You cannot open it. You move on. You go farther than usual, past the tree line, toward the rocks. You know there is risk, but you also know there is hunger. You check for tracks. You find none. The snow is smooth, untouched. You see shapes in the distance. Too far, too fast. You do not follow. You gather bark. You find more moss. You dig it from between rocks. You fill your pouch. You turn back. You take a different path. Shorter. Riskier. A ridge cuts the hill. You step across it. The snow cracks. Your foot slips. Your hand grabs a root. You hang there. Still. Quiet. You breathe through your nose. You pull yourself up. Slowly. Carefully. You do not panic. You do not look down. You reach the top. You sit. You wait. You calm your heart. You check your pouch. The bird is still there. The moss is still dry. That is all that matters. Back at the shelter, the child has fed the fire. It is higher now. Bright. Crackling. You step inside. He sees the bird. He does not smile. He takes it. He cleans it. He cooks it. You watch him. His hands are slow, but steady. That is new. He gives you the first piece. You chew slowly. You chew carefully. The meat is thin. The bones are soft. You eat everything. He eats next. He does not gag. He swallows without effort. He drinks melted snow. He wipes his hands. You nod. He nods back. The room is warm now. The fire dances. The smoke rises straight. No wind. No draft. You sit near it. You place your foot close. Not too close. The warmth feels strange. Like a memory, you close your eyes. You lean back. You breathe. The child draws again, this time on wood, a flat piece, burned on one side. He uses a shard of charcoal. The shapes are familiar now. Circles, lines, something like eyes. He does not explain. You do not ask. You only watch. He places the wood beside his bed. He sleeps beside it. You do not move it. You respect the act. You feed the fire one more stick. You watch it flicker. You stretch your leg. You lean back. You do not sleep, but you rest. Later, the wind returns. Soft, gentle. It taps the hide. You listen. You count the beats. You measure the distance. The child stirs. He whispers something. A sound. Not a word. Not a name. You look at him. His eyes are closed. His lips still move. You wait. Then he stops. You dream that night. Of warmth. Of fruit. Of water that flows over your hands. Of voices. Many voices. None familiar. They sing. Then fade. You wake with tears on your cheek. Not from sadness, from cold. The child is already awake. He stares at the fire. He has not moved all night. You give him water. He takes it. You eat a strip of bark. You chew it slowly. You hear the wind pick up. Not strong, just louder. You look at the door. You decide to stay inside. Just today. To let the cold pass. You sharpen the knife. You check the spear. You clean the stones in the fire ring. You find a crack in the ceiling. You patch it with hide. You seal it with smoke. The room holds heat better now. The child builds something from sticks. A figure. Small. Crude. With legs. With arms. He stands it in the corner. He kneels before it. Only once. Then he walks away. You do not ask what it is. You do not touch it. You let it stand. Evening comes slowly. The wind dies. The fire burns low. You save the last piece of moss for tomorrow. The child sleeps without noise. You lie beside him. You place the knife near your hand. You stare at the ceiling. The shadows move. Because this is only the 7th day. The fire is nearly out. Again. You rise before it dies completely. You blow gently. You add a thin stick. Then another. You watch the smoke curl. Then settle. Then rise. You rub your hands together. The skin flakes off in dry patches. The blood does not come. Not yet. The child is still asleep, curled tightly under the hide. His breath is slow, steady. His small figure is almost hidden beneath the layers. You let him rest. There is no reason to wake him. Not yet. You eat a piece of bark. It does not help. You chew it anyway. You drink from the pot. The water tastes of ash. The taste no longer matters. Only the warmth. You dress again. Same layers. Same stiffness. The cords around your wrists are tighter now. The leather shrinks in the cold. You loosen them. You check your ankle. It is less swollen, but still dark. You tighten the wrap again. Slowly, carefully. You open the door. The air is sharp. The wind is gone. The snow is hard, crusted over with ice. It crunches beneath your step. You listen. Nothing moves. No birds. No animals. No footsteps but your own. You check the traps. One is gone, taken by something bigger than the trap. You find the broken stick. The wire is missing. You do not look for it. You move to the next. It is untouched. The bait still there. The snow around it still smooth. The last trap holds something. Small, a rat. Shaking. Alive. You crouch. It looks at you. It does not move. You end it quickly. You do not speak. You do not hesitate. You place it in the pouch. You walk home. The child is awake when you return. He looks at the pouch. He looks at your hands. You show him the rat. He nods once. He prepares it. He is careful. He is quiet. He uses the knife. He adds moss to the fire. The flame rises. You cook the rat over the fire. Slowly. It smells like meat. Real meat. You each eat half. Bones and all. You suck the marrow from the spine. You chew the tail. You swallow everything. You drink after. You close your eyes. You feel the food in your stomach. Small, but present. You feel your hands again. You feel your foot. Too much. You do not move it. You sit. The child draws again. In the dirt this time. Circles again. Then one large one. Then inside it, smaller lines. A shape that looks like the sun, but not bright. You do not ask. He wipes it away before you can study it. He stacks stones in the corner. 5, then 7, then one more. He balances them carefully. He steps back. He sits down. He looks at you. He does not explain. You nod. The air shifts near midday. The wind returns. Slow at first, then stronger, then louder. It whistles through cracks. You place hides against the stones. You tie the door tighter. The smoke curls in place, then bends toward the back wall, then stops. You hear something outside, not wind, not snow, a scrape, then silence, then again. You grip the spear. You press your back to the wall. The child watches you. He holds the knife. He says nothing. The sound fades. You wait longer, just in case. Nothing happens. You sit down again. You let go of the spear. You stare at the door. The fire cracks once, then again. You do not move. The rest of the day passes in silence. You chew bark. You melt snow. You clean the stones again. The child does not speak. He sharpens the knife. He watches the fire. He hums once, then stops. That night, the cold is sharper. You feel it in your chest, in your spine, in your jaw. Your teeth ache. You breathe through your nose. It stings. You pull the hide tighter around your shoulders. You shift closer to the fire. You do not sleep long. A sound wakes you. The child is talking. Not loud. Not to you. Just talking. In a language you do not know. His eyes are closed. His lips move slowly. You listen. The fire pops. He stops. You lie back down. You listen to the wind. It whistles. It moans. It presses against the wall. You close your eyes. You dream of walking through snow. You see your own footprints ahead of you. They are deep. Too deep. You cannot catch up. You wake before light. You feed the fire again. You boil more snow. You sit. You stretch your hands. You do not speak. Because this is only the 8th day. The wind has not stopped. It presses against the shelter like a hand with no warmth. It whistles through the seams in the stone, wraps around the edges of the door, tugs at the corners of your thoughts. You wake with your hand on the knife, not by choice, just instinct. You do not remember reaching for it. The child is already awake, sitting upright. His eyes are open. His hands are wrapped in cloth. He does not speak. He watches the fire. The flame is weak. You feed it moss. It flares briefly, then steadies. You sip from the pot. The water is warm. That is good. You do not eat. There is nothing to eat. Only the memory of food. Only the weight of hunger sitting deeper in your belly now. Not sharp, just heavy, like a stone you cannot move. You glance at the stones the child stacked. They have not shifted. He has added another. You prepare to leave, slowly. You tie your ankle with fresh hide. You test your step. It still hurts, but it holds. You dress in silence. The child hands you the knife without speaking. You nod. You open the door. The wind greets you. Cold, familiar, unkind. The snow is hard this morning. The crust cracks under your foot. The sky is gray, always gray. You walk toward the ridge, not to check the traps. Not yet. You need higher ground. You need to see something different. You need to know what waits. You climb slowly, each step heavier than the last. You reach the top. You crouch low. You scan the horizon. Nothing moves. The world is white and gray, a blur of shape and silence. In the distance, smoke, thin, weak, too far to help, too far to threaten. You watch it until it fades. You descend the other side. The snow is deeper here. The trees are closer together. You find a trail, not fresh, but not old. Hoofprints, something heavy, slow, a deer, maybe, or something worse. You follow the trail. The trees thin. You hear running water. That is strange. That is important. You crouch near the edge of a frozen stream. The ice has cracked. Water flows beneath. You look around. You wait. You listen. Nothing moves. You cut a hole in the ice. Slowly. The sound is sharp, loud. You wince. You keep going. A fish swims past. You miss it. Another follows. You strike. You miss again. You press your hand into the water. It burns. You try again. On the third try, you catch one. Small, thin, still alive. You kill it quickly. You wrap it in cloth. You hold it close. You do not smile. You do not speak. You start back. You take the long way. You check a snare. Broken. The stick is cracked. The bait is gone. You fix it. You use a smaller loop. You move to the next. Nothing. You leave it. You do not linger. The wind picks up. The snow begins again. Light at first, then steady. You lower your head. You keep walking. The path is slow. The forest leans in. The cold finds your chest. You cough. You do not stop. At the shelter, the child opens the door. He sees the fish. He nods. He clears a space. He adds wood to the fire. You sit. You hand him the cloth. He unwraps it. His hands are careful. The fish is cleaned with water from the pot. It is placed on a stone near the flame. The smell fills the room. Rich, sharp, real. You share it. Evenly, slowly. The bones crack between your teeth. You swallow every piece. You drink after. You exhale through your nose. The child adds another stone to the pile. 9 now. He hums while doing it. A low sound, barely audible. You hear it anyway. You listen. That night, the wind shifts. It grows. Louder. Closer. Less like air. More like breath. The child wakes. You both listen. A footstep. Not yours. Not his. Outside. Close. Then gone. You grip your spear. You hold it tight. The fire dims. You do not breathe. The sound returns. Then silence. You wait a long time. Then longer. You do not sleep, because this is only the 9th day. The morning is still, the kind of still that presses on your ears. The kind that makes even your breath feel too loud. You open your eyes slowly. The fire is nothing but ash. The coals are cold. The air inside is sharp. You pull the hide tighter over your chest. It does nothing. The child is already awake. He sits with his knees pulled up, staring at the door. He does not speak. He does not move. You watch him. He blinks once. That is all. You sit up. Your back pops. Your ankle aches. You move anyway. You melt snow. You hold the pot over the coals. It takes longer now. The water is slush before it is liquid. You sip it warm. The taste is metallic. Your mouth is dry. You do not care. You hand the child his portion. He drinks without looking away from the door. You gather your things. The knife, the stick, a scrap of hide. You move to the door. You pause. You listen. The wind is gone, but something lingers. You push the door open slowly. Nothing waits on the other side. Just snow. Just gray. Just more. You step outside. The snow is deeper again. Your foot disappears halfway. The crust is soft, slushy. That means the air is warming. Just a little. Just enough to melt, then freeze again. You walk anyway. You visit the traps. The first is missing. Again. Taken or buried. You dig. You find a thread of wire. You save it. The second holds nothing. The third is tripped. No bait. No blood. Just a smear of fur. You do not follow it. You do not look for more. You check the ice hole near the stream. It is frozen solid again. No fish. No movement. You chip at the edge. The sound echoes through the trees. You stop. Too loud. Too risky. You walk away. You follow a new path. One you do not know. You limp over a ridge. You scan the forest. You crouch near a broken log. You find tracks. Large ones. Pressed deep into the snow. Hooves. Then claws. Mixed. Confused. A struggle. Then nothing. You hear a sound. A crack. Behind you. You turn. Slowly. Nothing is there. Only trees. Only windless silence. You grip your knife. You wait. You feel watched. You always feel watched now. You leave the ridge. You follow the prints partway back, then turn. You walk home slower than usual. You check your back often. Nothing follows. Still, you hurry. The child opens the door for you again. He says nothing. You nod. You step inside. The fire is smoldering. He has kept it alive. That is something. You place more bark on the coals. It catches. It grows. The smoke rises. You eat nothing. He eats nothing. You share the silence instead. You melt more snow. You drink it warm. It sits in your stomach like a rock. But it helps. The child places 3 more stones in the stack, then 1 larger one on top. 10 total now. No explanation. No pattern. Just weight and stillness. You do not ask. Later, you sharpen the knife. The blade is thinner than before. You run it across the stone. Over and over. You count. 30 times. Then you stop. You test the edge. It catches your finger. Just enough. You wipe the blood away. The wind returns at dusk. Not sharp. Not loud. Just steady. It builds behind the walls. It hums in the cracks. The fire dances. The shadows move. The child watches the door again. You do too. Because this is only the 10th day. You wake to darkness. No morning light. No sound. Just the soft crack of wood shrinking in the cold. The fire has died again. You reach for the pot. The water inside is frozen. A thin sheet across the top. You break it with your finger. It stings. You leave it. The child is curled into himself. The hide around his shoulders has slipped. You pull it back up. His face is pale. His lips are dry. His breath is shallow, but it is still breath. You nod once to yourself. Then you sit up. Your ankle aches. Not as sharp, but deeper now. The pain has moved inward. It is colder than before. Or maybe you are just noticing it more. You do not unwrap it. You do not check. You already know what you would see. You relight the fire. Slowly, patiently. You use moss. Thin sticks, the last of the dried bark. You blow gently. The spark flares, then fades. You try again. It catches. The flame rises. Weak, but real. You feed it more. It grows. You sit beside it. The water thaws slowly. You wait. You do not drink. Not yet. You watch the child sleep. He twitches once. His fingers flex. Then stillness again. You do not wake him. You need him strong. You need him still growing. When the light returns, it is faint. A smudge through the hide flap. You step outside. The snow is hard again. The surface crunches. The sky is flat. No clouds. Just pale white, stretching in every direction. You squint. You taste the wind in your mouth. It is dry. It burns. You follow a path you know. Toward the old traps, the ones too far to check every day. You limp slowly. Your foot sinks with each step. You do not hurry. That wastes breath. You move like the cold. Slow. Quiet. Unforgiving. The traps are there. Unmoved. One holds a bone. You do not know why. Someone left it. Or something did. You do not touch it. You walk past. The second trap is missing entirely. Dragged away. Only grooves in the snow remain. You stare at them. You do not follow. You reach the clearing. The stream is visible again. The ice has cracked. Not broken. Just lines. Thin ones. You kneel beside it. You test the edge. Still solid. You listen to the water moving below. It sounds closer than before. That is strange. You hear something. Not water. Not wind. Footsteps behind you. You do not turn. Not right away. You stay still. Then slowly, carefully, you look over your shoulder. Nothing. Just snow. Just trees. Just stillness. You grip the knife tighter. You wait. You hear nothing else. You rise. You walk home faster than usual. You do not run. Running invites attention. You move with purpose, with caution. The child is waiting by the fire. He has cleaned the stone ring. He has arranged the sticks. He hands you a scrap of moss. You use it. The fire grows stronger. You boil snow. You drink first. You give him the rest. He nods. You show him the bone from the trap. He does not touch it. He does not speak. He draws a shape in the ash. A line. A circle. A mark that looks like an eye. Then he wipes it away. Later, he stacks more stones. 11 now. The top one is flat, cracked in the middle. He places it carefully, then sits beside it. He hums again, the same tune as before. It has no beginning. It has no end. You sleep that night closer to the fire, your legs stretched toward the warmth. The child beside you, the knife between you, the spear near the door. The wind rises after dark. You hear something again. A breath outside. Long. Slow. You do not move, because this is only the 11th day. The snow has fallen again. Soft. Silent. Heavy. You wake to the sound of it pressing on the hide roof. A gentle weight. The kind that builds without notice. The kind that seals doors shut. You sit up. The fire is low. Just red coals and faint smoke. You add moss. You wait. You do not rush it. The child is asleep. His face turned toward the stones. One hand under his chin. His other hand rests on the flat rock he placed yesterday. You do not move him. You do not speak. You only watch until he stirs. Your foot is stiff. You press on the ankle. No feeling at first. Then too much. Then nothing again. You unwrap it. The skin is dark, purple and blue, swollen around the bone, the edge of frostbite. You do not say anything. You wrap it tighter. You tuck it under your leg. You return your attention to the fire. The child wakes slowly. His eyes open without expression. He sits upright. He watches the flame. You hand him a cup of melted snow. He drinks without a word. You chew a strip of bark. You offer one to him. He refuses. He does not look hungry. Just tired. Not the kind of tired that sleep fixes. You open the door. It does not move. You push harder. The snow falls inward. A soft wall, packed tight. You dig with your hands. You clear enough space to pass through. Cold air rushes in. It takes your breath. You let it. Outside, the sky is low. The clouds press down. Everything is white. The trees sag with weight. Your breath floats in a slow stream. You walk carefully. each step deep, slow, deliberate. You check your old paths. Most are buried. You follow only the ones you still recognize. You reach the ridge. The wind is soft here. It moves around you, not through you. You crouch. You look down. Nothing. No movement. No smoke. No shapes. You scan the line of trees. A shadow shifts, then disappears. You stay still. You descend the other side. Your foot sinks deep. You fall once. You rise slowly. You keep going. You reach the stream. The hole you made is gone, covered again. A new layer of ice. You try to chip it. It resists. You try again. The crack forms. You stop. Too loud. Too open. You move on. You follow a new set of tracks. Small, narrow, close to the ground. A hare or fox. You step lightly. You stay low. You follow them between trees. Then they vanish. Just gone. You check the snow. It is smooth ahead. No sign of struggle. No blood. Just an end. You turn back. Near the shelter, you pause. You crouch low. You listen. The child is inside. You hear him humming. You hear the fire pop. Then something else. A breath. Not his. Outside. Behind you. You do not turn right away. You grip the knife. You take one step toward the door. Then another. The breath grows closer. You duck through the hide. You drop the flap. You sit quickly by the fire. You do not speak. The child looks at you, then at the door, then back at you. He says nothing. You both wait. Nothing enters. Later, the wind picks up again. The snow outside begins to fall sideways. You feed the fire slowly. You boil more water. You give it to the child first. He sips. He does not finish. You drink the rest. He stacks another stone. 12. The shape is uneven now. It leans to one side. He adjusts it. He presses his thumb into the top. Leaves a mark. You watch him. He sees you. He looks away. You sit by the fire until the smoke makes your eyes sting. You blink. You lean back. The spear lies across your knees. The child holds the knife in his lap. No one says anything. You sleep again. Not from tiredness, from cold, from stillness, from the weight of not moving. You dream of footsteps behind you. You never turn around. You wake before the touch, because this is only the 12th day. You do not remember falling asleep, but you wake before the fire dies. That means something. You sit up. You stretch your back. Your fingers are stiff. The cold lives inside your joints now. Not sharp, just always there, like breath. Like silence. The child is awake too, sitting by the wall, his hands wrapped in cloth. He unwraps them slowly. He checks his palms. He looks at his fingertips, then wraps them again. He does not speak. He does not look at you. You do not ask. You melt snow. The pot is black from soot. The water inside tastes like iron. You drink anyway. You give half to the child. He drinks it all. You nod. That is good. He needs more than you do. Your foot is worse. You can feel the heat now, but not the kind you want. It pulses. It swells. You do not remove the wrap. You just tighten it. If you look, it becomes real. You are not ready for that. You open the door. The The snow is higher. The wind has shifted. It moves from the east now. That means something too. You step outside. The air bites your nose. Your lips crack. You do not lick them. You know better. You walk toward the trees, not to check traps, not to hunt, just to move, just to feel something other than pain. You breathe through your teeth. You count steps, 50, then 100. You stop. You see prints, not new, but not old. Hooves again, heavy, deep, going south, away from your shelter. You follow them, not because you expect anything, just because they are there. The trail leads to a dip in the land, a small hollow between two ridges. You crouch. You see a mark in the snow. Blood. A smear. Thin. Faint. You do not smile. You do not speak. You grip the knife. The tracks end at a frozen pool. The ice is broken. Something large went through. You see hair on the edge. Brown. Coarse. The shape of a leg. A hoof. Half submerged. You move closer. The animal is dead. Part of it frozen in the ice. The rest torn apart. Not eaten. Just scattered. You see claw marks in the snow. Deep ones. You feel the hair on your arms rise. You step back. Slowly. You do not take anything. The meat is wrong. The scene is wrong. You turn. You walk away. You do not run. You do not look behind you. But you feel it. Like breath again. Like eyes. You return home before the sun fades. The child is stirring the fire. He looks at you. He sees your hands. He sees your face. You nod once. He nods back. That is enough. You sit down. You do not eat. You do not drink. You stretch your leg toward the fire. You close your eyes. You listen to the wood burn. The child draws again. Not on wood. Not in ash. On his own arm, with soot. A mark. A spiral. Then a line. Then a second line through the first. He wipes it away. He stares at the spot. He does not move for a long time. You sharpen the knife again. The sound is soft, repetitive, clean. You count in your head. 10, 20, 30, 40. You stop. That night, the wind brings a new sound. A howl, long, distant. Then another, closer. The fire flickers. The shadows shift. The child does not flinch. He holds the knife tighter. You do not speak, because this is only the 13th day. You wake with a start. You do not know why. The fire is out. The coals are cold. The room is dark. The air is silent. The kind of silence that listens back. You sit up. You grip the spear. You listen harder. The child is still, lying on his side. His chest rises, falls, rises again. You place a hand on his shoulder. He stirs. He opens his eyes. He blinks. He does not speak. He sees your face. He sits up too. You light the fire again, slowly. Moss, bark, ash. You blow until it catches. The smoke moves upward. The warmth returns. Slight, thin, enough to see your breath change shape. You look at your foot. The swelling is worse. The wrap is soaked. You remove it. The skin is gray. The toes are stiff. You touch them. No feeling. You wrap it again. Tighter this time. It helps. A little. The child eats a piece of bark. You watch him chew slowly, his eyes half closed, his lips cracked. He hands you the last piece. You break it in two. You each take half. You chew. You swallow. It does nothing. But it is routine. Routine is good. You open the door. The snow has stopped. The air is still. The sky is pale. No wind. No sun. No sound. You step outside. You wait. You listen. Nothing stirs. You walk toward the ridge. You limp more now. The leg drags slightly. The child does not follow. You told him to stay. He obeys. You are glad for that. At the ridge, the view is the same. Trees, ice, sky, silence. You look for movement, for smoke, for light. There is nothing. You turn back. Slowly, you pass the broken traps. One is buried now. Another snapped shut. Empty. The third is missing. Dragged again. You do not follow the trail. You do not want to know. You return to the place where the animal died. The scene is untouched, frozen in place. Blood like stone, flesh like bark. The smell is gone. The danger is not. You walk away. You see new tracks. Thin, fast. A small animal, still alive, still running. You crouch. You press your hand into the print. It is warm. You follow it. It leads to a hollow tree, a hole at the base. You stop. You wait. You do not breathe. A flicker of movement. You strike. Fast. Sharp. The knife catches fur. Then blood. A rabbit. Small, but real. Warm. You hold it. You end it quickly. You wrap it and hide. You walk home faster than before. The child sees the bundle. His eyes widen slightly. He says nothing. He helps prepare it. He uses the flat stone. He boils water. He places the meat on a stick. You sit together. You wait. It cooks slowly. The smell is sharp, rich, familiar. It fills the space. You eat in silence. You chew the bones. You suck the marrow. You drink the broth. You breathe easier. The child stacks another stone. 13. He places it on top without a sound. The shape is leaning, fragile, but standing. You both stare at it, then look away. That night, the wind returns. Stronger, it howls through the trees. It claws at the roof. The fire flickers. You hold the spear. The child sleeps. Light, restless. His fingers twitch. His lips move. You hear something outside, not the wind. A thump, a drag, a scrape. Then nothing. You do not open the door. You wait. The fire crackles. The sound does not return. You do not sleep, because this is only the 14th day. You begin the day without speaking. The child does not ask questions. You do not offer answers. The wind has stilled again. The fire is weak. You feed it with moss and bark. You blow gently. The flame returns. You stare into it. You see nothing. The water is already frozen. You break the surface of the pot. The sound echoes. You melt more snow. You drink first, then the child. His hands shake slightly. You pretend not to notice. Your foot is numb, not just cold, not just stiff. You press the skin. It does not push back. It does not respond. The color has changed. It no longer looks like part of you. You do not unwrap it again. There is no point. You tie the hide tighter. You eat the last bit of meat, dried and thin. It sticks to your teeth. It breaks apart like paper. The child chews slowly. He closes his eyes. He does not savor. He only swallows. You both drink again. The pot is nearly empty. You leave the shelter. Slowly. You limp harder now. You use the spear as a crutch. You walk toward the place where trees grow closer. More cover, more tracks, more danger. You do not hesitate. You find nothing at the first trap. It is sprung. The wire is snapped. Something strong. You kneel to examine the ground. The snow is disturbed. Clawed prints. Large. Too large. You leave the trap broken. You move on. The second trap holds a bird. Small. Thin. Frozen. Already stiff. You lift it gently. The bones crack beneath your fingers. You place it in your pouch. You continue. The third trap is gone again, the stick broken, the wire missing. No blood, no tracks, just absence. You do not search for it. You walk back. You stop by the stream. It is still frozen. The ice is thicker. The water has receded. The sound beneath it is distant now. You sit on the bank. You rest. You close your eyes for a moment. Just one moment. You wake with snow on your face. You do not know how long you were still. The sun has shifted. The shadows are longer. You rise. Your foot screams. You walk anyway. The bird is cooked over the fire. The child does not speak. He cleans it with a dull stone. He peels the feathers. He saves the bones. He stirs the pot with the end of a stick. You sit beside him. You eat together. Carefully, you suck the meat from the wings. You crunch the skull. You chew the feet. You drink the broth. You do not talk. He adds another stone. 14. He places it at an angle. It balances briefly, then falls. He picks it up. He tries again. It stays. He exhales through his nose. That night, the cold deepens. It settles into the walls, into the floor, into your chest. You wrap your arms around your knees. You tuck your face beneath the hide. The child does the same. Neither of you sleeps quickly. A new sound wakes you. Not the wind, not the fire. Breathing. Deep. Heavy. Close. You grip the spear. The child sits up. You both listen. The sound moves past the door. One step, then another, then silence. You do not move. You do not speak. The fire burns low. The smoke rises slowly. The walls creak. The hide flutters once, then stillness. You do not sleep again, because this is only the 15th day. You begin the morning without light. The sky is thick with cloud. The fire is nearly gone. You crouch beside it. You blow into the coals. You feed it thin strips of moss. The flame returns, weak, uncertain, but real. The child is already sitting up, his hands wrapped tight, his knees pulled to his chest. He watches you. He says nothing. You nod once. He nods back. You melt snow. The pot hisses as the ice touches heat. The water steams. You each take a share. You press your hand against your chest. Your breath is shallow. Your ribs ache. The cold is deeper now, not just outside, inside too, in your lungs, in your blood. You cough once. It hurts. You stop. The child holds the knife. He scrapes a stick slowly, peeling thin curls from the edge. He places them in a small pile. He saves them for later. He does not waste anything. You watch his fingers, still steady, still careful. You open the door. The snow is hard again. The air is dry. The sky is gray. No wind. No sound. You step outside. Your foot drags. The pain in your leg has faded. That is not good. That means the nerves are dying. You do not look back. You walk toward the ridge. You move slower. You lean on the spear. You pause often. You breathe through your nose. The air tastes of ice and wood smoke. Familiar. Dull. At the ridge, you crouch. You scan the land. A line of trees. A bend in the river. A shape. Small. Moving. You narrow your eyes. It is far. Too far. But it moves on 2 legs. Not 4. That changes things. You watch until the shape vanishes. Then you wait longer. You count slowly in your head. 50. 100. Still nothing. You descend. You check the traps. The first is untouched. The second is buried. The third is missing again. You dig in the snow. You find the wire. Twisted. Burned. You do not know why. You carry it back anyway. You pass the tree line. The snow is deeper here. Your steps are uneven. Your breath fogs in front of you. You hear a crack. Not from you. Not from ice. A branch. Behind you. You freeze. You turn slowly. Nothing. You keep moving. You reach the shelter. You pause before entering. You listen. The child is humming again. A slow, steady tone. No words. No rhythm. Just sound. You step inside. He stops. He sees the wire. He nods. He places another stone. 15. He wipes his hands on his knees. He stares into the fire. You hand him the knife. He takes it. He carves into the flat top of the new stone. A line. Then a second. A triangle. He presses his thumb into the center. He does not explain. You do not ask. You eat nothing. He eats nothing. You both drink. You sit in silence. The spear rests across your lap. The knife beside you. The fire pops once. Sparks rise. Then fade. The cold deepens again. The wind returns. It scratches the roof. It finds the seams in the walls. The flame bends sideways. You feed it more bark, more moss. The smoke grows thicker. That night, the sound returns. Breathing. Closer. Slower. The hide over the door shifts. Once. Then again. You grip the spear. The child grips the knife. The fire flickers. The sound fades. You do not speak. You do not move. Because this is only the 16th day. You wake before the light comes. The fire is low. The coals are weak. You feed it slowly. 1 stick, then another. You blow. The glow deepens. The warmth creeps outward. You sit close. You press your hands together. You feel the bones inside them. The child stirs. He shifts beneath the hide. His eyes open. He blinks slowly. You nod. He nods back. You melt snow. The water takes longer to heat. The pot is black with ash. You pour half into a cup. He drinks. You drink the rest. The cold inside your leg is spreading. The color has changed again. The skin is cracked. The toes no longer move. You press on them. No feeling. You cover them. You keep them close to the fire. You do not speak of it. The child scrapes more bark. He places it beside the hearth. He sharpens the end of a stick. He shapes it slowly. A point. Not for hunting. For holding. For ritual. For something quiet and unseen. You step outside. The air is sharp. The sky is pale blue. For the first time in days, there is light. Not warmth. Just light. It shines without heat. It shows the snow clearly. You squint. You walk toward the stream. The ice is cracked near the edges. You chip at it. Small flakes scatter. You press the tip of your spear against it. You listen. The ice groans. You stop. You sit nearby. A sound follows. Not the wind. Not the trees. A footstep. Then another. Behind you. You do not turn. You wait. You grip the spear. The sound stops. You breathe once. You rise slowly. You look over your shoulder. Nothing. You return to the shelter. The child is stacking stones again. 16 now. He places the newest one with care. He draws on it with ash. A cross. Then a ring. Then wipes it clean. You sit down. You stretch your leg toward the fire. It burns, but not with heat, with pressure. From inside, you close your eyes. You listen to the flame. Later, the child offers you a cup. Melted snow. He has added bark shavings. The taste is bitter. You drink anyway. He watches you. You nod once. He nods back. You hand him the broken wire. He twists it into a loop, then into a spiral. He places it on top of the stone pile. It wobbles, then rests. He does not smile, but his eyes are steady. The wind rises after dusk. The fire fights it. The smoke moves sideways. You press the hide tighter across the door. You place a stone at the base. You sit back down. The child hums again. Quieter now. The same pattern. The same lack of melody. Just sound. Just repetition. He presses his thumb to the stone with the spiral, then sits still. The sound returns. Outside. Footsteps. Slow. Measured. The snow crunches. The steps stop outside the wall. Then nothing. You do not move. You hold the spear. The child grips the knife. The fire is the only light, because this is only the 17th day. You do not sleep. The sound outside comes and goes. It shifts. It circles. Then vanishes. You wait for it to return. It does not. The fire burns low. The child does not move. His eyes are open. He watches the door. Eventually, the cold becomes too much. You add wood. You blow on the coals. The flame rises again. You press your hands near it. The skin on your fingers is cracked. One has bled. You do not feel it. You drink warm water. You pass the cup to the child. He drinks. He wipes his mouth with the back of his hand. He does not speak. You do not either. There is nothing new to say. You unwrap your foot. The toes are black. The skin is hard. The smell is sweet and wrong. You wrap it again. You press it close to the fire. You close your eyes. You keep your face still. Outside, the wind returns. It is slower now, more like breath. The snow falls gently, thick flakes, silent, relentless. The sky is too heavy to hold color. Everything is gray. You go outside. The snow reaches your knees. Each step is work. You move slowly. You do not stray far, just to the edge of the trees. You check for prints. There are none, only your own. You find a fallen branch, thick, frozen solid. You drag it back. It scrapes along the ground. The sound is loud in the quiet. The child hears you. He opens the door. He helps you carry it in. Together you strip the bark. You break it into pieces. You feed the fire. It grows. It hisses. The smoke rises clean. The warmth touches your face. You sit beside it. You do not move. The child eats the last of the bark scrapings. He chews them slowly. He does not look up. He wipes his mouth with ash. He stacks another stone. 17 now. He does not decorate this one. You notice his fingers tremble. Just for a moment, then still. He places his hands near the fire. He presses them flat against the floor. He stares at the flame. You remember the shape in the distance, the two legs, the movement. You have not seen it again, but you think of it often. You wonder if it saw you. You wonder if it waits. The air inside the shelter is dry. The smoke has cleared. The heat stays low, but steady. You press your back against the wall. You stretch your leg. You rest the spear across your knees. The child lies down. He places his head on a folded hide. He curls into himself. His breath is shallow. His lips are cracked. You watch him until his eyes close. That night, there is no sound, no wind, no breath outside, only stillness. The fire glows faint orange. The smoke rises straight up. The cold remains, but softer, like cloth instead of stone. You close your eyes, because this is only the 18th day. You wake with a cough, dry, hollow. It catches in your chest. It does not leave easily. You sit up. You press your hand to your ribs. You feel the movement. You feel the effort. The child is already awake. He is watching you. You nod. He nods. You both say nothing. The fire is burning low. You feed it with more of the stripped wood. The bark crackles. The flame rises again. You hold your hands close. The skin has peeled on one knuckle. You do not cover it. You let the heat sting. The water is nearly gone. You melt snow. Slowly, you watch the surface shift. You wait for steam. You drink first. You pass the rest to the child. He drinks. He coughs once. Short. Weak. Your foot is worse. The skin has broken open. The smell is thicker. You cover it again. You do not let the child see. There is no use in showing him. You open the door. The snow outside is still falling. The flakes are finer now. Dust instead of feathers. The sky is flat white. The air does not move. You step out. You walk carefully. You check the traps. One is untouched. The second is missing. The third is broken again. Something took the bait, left the frame. You crouch. You check the snow. No blood, no hair, just disruption. You do not repair it. You move on. You reach the tree line. The sound of your breath is the only sound. Even your steps are silent. The snow swallows noise. You pause. You listen. You hear nothing. You follow a familiar trail, not because you expect anything, but because the act of walking is something. Movement is survival. So you move. You find a frozen log. You sit. You rest. You look at your hands. The skin is dry. The veins are faint. The nails are cracked. You press your thumb into your palm. You feel pressure, but not pain. You rise. You return. At the shelter, the child has redrawn a symbol on the stone. It is not the spiral, not the cross. A shape like a window. 4 squares. He does not explain it. He rubs it out before you sit down. You drink again. You share what is left. You chew a piece of old root. The taste is bitter. The fibers stick in your teeth. You spit them into the fire. They curl in the heat, then vanish. You close your eyes for a moment. You let the warmth from the flame touch your face. You count your breaths. You lose track. You start again. The child sharpens the stick again. Slowly. Not for use. Just for movement. Just for focus. The blade scrapes softly. A rhythm. A pattern. A kind of music. Later, he adds another stone. 18. He places it at the base of the others. Not on top. Beside. He presses ash into the crack between them. He smooths it with one finger. The fire burns steadily. The room is quiet. The wind does not return. The air feels old, stale. You open the door for a moment. You let the cold rush in. Then you close it again. You shiver once, then stop. That night, there is a sound again. Not breath, not footsteps. A knock. One, then silence. You do not respond. The child looks at you. He does not ask. He already knows. You hold the spear. You do not sleep, because this is only the 19th day. The knock does not return. You sit by the fire until morning. The light outside is pale. The smoke from the fire moves straight up. The air inside is heavy. Still, you stretch your fingers. They respond. Slowly, stiffly, but they move. The child is curled in the corner. He wakes without speaking. He uncovers his hands, checks his skin, wraps them again. He does not look at you, but he knows you are watching. You drink water. It is not warm, but not frozen. You sip. You rinse your mouth. You swallow. You pass the rest to the child. He drinks it all. You do not stop him. You unwrap your foot again. You have to. The skin has split. The flesh beneath is dark. You press it lightly. No pain. No warmth. No blood. You breathe in slowly. You wrap it tighter. The leg is colder than the rest of you. You speak a word. The child looks up. You point at the door. He nods. You both dress in silence. He ties the hide around his shoulders. You use the spear for balance. You open the door. The snow is deep again, higher than yesterday. The path is gone. You step forward. The cold grabs your skin. Your leg drags. Each step sinks past the knee. The child follows close behind. You reach the tree line. The air is silent. No birds. No wind. No movement. You point to one trap. He goes to check it. You check the second. Broken. The bait gone. The wire chewed. You pocket what is left. The child returns. He shakes his head. You nod. You walk further together. You find tracks. Small ones. Not fresh, but not old. A cluster of round prints. You crouch. You touch the snow. Still firm. Still shaped. The child crouches too. He watches your fingers. You both rise. You follow them. The prints weave between trees, then across an open space. A clearing, flattened snow. No cover. You stop. The child stops. You scan the edges. You see nothing. You cross anyway. On the other side, the prints end. A small hole in the snow. A den. A burrow. You crouch again. You listen. You hear nothing. You do not reach in. You place a stone nearby. You mark the spot. You head home. The child is tired. His steps are slower. His shoulders lower. You give him the spear for a while. You walk without it. You feel the pressure in your leg, the heat, the absence. When you return, the fire is nearly out. You rebuild it together. No words, just motion, moss, bark, ash, flame. You sit close. The child places another stone. 19. He puts it back on top. The tower leans. He adjusts it. It stays. He sighs through his nose. You hand him a scrap of hide. He sharpens it with the knife. He ties it around his wrist. Then his other. Not for warmth. For memory. You drink water. The last of it. You chew a stick. The bark is soft. The flavor is bitter. You give the other half to the child. He chews it slowly. He leans back, his eyes half closed. That night, the cold is stronger. The wind returns, sharp, thin. It slices through the wall. The fire flickers. You hold your arms around your chest. The child presses close. Then the knock comes again. 3 times. You do not move. You do not speak. Because this is only the 20th day. The knock fades into the wind. The sound lingers in your chest, not in your ears. You press your hand to the door. It is cold, still. You do not open it. You return to the fire. You sit down. You listen. The child watches. You add wood. Slowly. The fire breathes. It flickers. The shadows shift. The smoke curls upward. The walls creak. You lean forward. You feel the heat on your face. You say nothing. The child draws on the floor with ash. A shape. Then another. A line that circles back. Then splits. He wipes it away. He stares at the empty space. Then lies down. You do not sleep. The sky turns pale. The cold deepens. The fire burns low. You melt snow again. The pot is cracked. You turn it. You balance it carefully. The water heats. You drink first. You pass the cup. The child drinks without a word. Your foot no longer feels like part of you. It drags behind you now. You do not try to bend it. You move it by lifting your leg. You keep the wrap tight. You avoid looking. You leave before the wind dies. You open the door. You walk into the snow. The child follows. You move slower now. Each step is a task. The snow pulls. The air presses down. You push forward anyway. You reach the clearing again. The stone is there, the den still covered. No prints nearby. You wait. You listen. You move on. At the third trap, you find bones. Clean. Picked. Small. You gather them. You wrap them in hide. You carry them. Not for food. For tool. For memory. For proof. The child finds a feather. Stuck in bark. He places it behind his ear. He does not smile, but he leaves it there. You both sit beneath a low tree. The branches bend under snow. The world is white, gray, still. You rest. He rests. You both breathe. Then he stands. He points. A figure, far away, moving between trees. Tall, thin, 2 legs. Not fast, just moving. You grip the spear. You rise. The child stays still. You take 1 step forward, then stop. The figure vanishes behind a ridge. You wait. You do not chase. You do not speak. You walk back together. At the shelter, the fire is low again. You rebuild it. The child arranges the bones near the stones. He counts them. 7. He does not carve. He does not draw. He sits beside them. You hand him a piece of cloth. He wraps it around his wrist, then unwraps it, then wraps it again. He does this until the fire burns higher. You eat nothing. You drink melted snow. You chew a piece of old leather. Not food, just motion. The child does the same. That night, the wind is calm. The silence is louder than before. You press your ear to the wall. You hear nothing. But still, you wait. The knock does not come, but you do not sleep. Because this is only the 21st day. The air is thinner now, not by altitude, but by time. It feels like you have lived many seasons in one long stretch of days. The cold is part of your body. It no longer bites. It simply remains. The child wakes without sound. He rubs his hands together. The bones show beneath the skin. He moves slowly. He stretches his legs. He turns toward the stones. He stares at them for a long time. You melt snow. The pot is cracked wider. The water leaks as it heats. You hold it steady with both hands. You drink what you can. You share what is left. The child sips, then passes it back. Your foot is gone. It is still there in shape, but not in life. You no longer unwrap it. You no longer test it. You simply move with the rest of you. The limp is constant. The pain is distant. You both step outside. The snow is low today. Wind has carried it elsewhere. The sun is hidden, but the air is open, wide, still. You walk without speaking. At the ridge, you sit together. You face the horizon. Trees, stone, sky, the same as before, yet different. The land feels slower. The silence feels deeper. The child takes the feather from his hide. He places it in the snow. He presses it flat, then lets the wind lift it. It flutters, then falls. He does not pick it up. You hand him a shard of bone. He runs a finger along the edge. He does not carve. He does not pocket it. He places it beside the feather. You both return. The fire is steady. You feed it a branch. The flame responds. The child places a stone. 37. He does not decorate it. He just presses his palm against it, then leaves it. That night, there is no knock, no sound. The silence is kind, not empty, just full of space. You sleep lightly. It was the 22nd day. The light returns gently. The sky is pale blue. The wind is gone. The air is still. The child is already awake. He sits by the fire. He holds a stick. He draws in the ash. You rise slowly. You stretch. The joints in your back shift. Your hands are stiff, but warm. You breathe deep. The air feels clean. The space feels open. You drink water. Melted snow. Still cold. Still sharp. But it slides down your throat with ease. You pass the cup. The child drinks. He finishes it all. He sets the cup down without sound. You both go outside. The world is quiet, but not heavy. The snow is soft. The sky is wide. You walk without plan, just motion. The child walks beside you. No traps today. No hunting. No collecting. Just steps. You reach the edge of the frozen stream. You sit. He sits. You listen. Beneath the ice, there is a sound. Not loud. Not clear. But moving. A trickle. A shift. A reminder. The child places his hand on the ice. He closes his eyes. You do the same. You both remain still for a long time. You return as the sky turns gold. Not bright, but soft. The kind of light that touches edges gently. The kind of light that feels like an end without saying so. Inside, the fire is waiting. You sit close. The warmth is enough. The child stacks another stone. 38. He places it beside the last. He carves a circle, then brushes it away. You both eat bark. Not because you need to, but because it is what you do. Routine is comfort. Motion is memory. That night, you hear breath, but not fear, not threat. Just a reminder that life continues, even when quiet, even when unseen. You sleep. It was the 23rd day. The final morning comes without sound. The fire is still burning. Low, calm. The coals glow orange. The smoke drifts straight upward. The child sits beside it. He does not move. You wake slowly. You stretch. You breathe. You look outside. The sky is clear. The snow is untouched. The air is calm. You open the door wider. You let the warmth from the sun touch your face. The cold remains, but the edge is softer. You both step out. No words, no tools, no traps. Just feet in snow, just breath in air. At the ridge, you stand together. You look out. The land spreads in all directions. Endless. Still. You close your eyes. You listen. There is no danger. No need. Just presence. The child places his hand in yours. You hold it. Lightly. Not for safety. Just for knowing. You return together. Inside, the fire has faded, but it is not gone. You feed it. One last piece of bark. The flame rises. It dances. The child watches. You both sit in silence. Then the child places the last stone. He presses it gently into place. You do not add more, because this was the last day, and you lasted